Hey, ADNC fam, Emma Ansa here. I hope all is well with everyone. It is Tuesday, December 23rd, and we are slowly, but not so slowly, approaching the end of this year. Still blows my mind. Anyhow, I hope everybody's well. While we wait for people to join, I just want to remind everybody, if you haven't already done so, to download the African Diaspora News Channel app from your Google or Apple store. I mean, we're in the Christmas season, so to those who celebrate, what better gift than the African Diaspora News Channel app? If you're downloading it for yourself, it could be a gift to yourself. If you are going to buy it for a friend, a family member, you just, cut them a little check, send them some money, and let them download the app and subscribe. It is something that I think would be the best gift for yourself. So download that app. But anyway, let's get to today's topic. We have a wonderful, good brother by the name of David McDonald. He is an Amazon delivery driver. He was minding his Black business, going about his way, and he got into an altercation with an anti-Black racist. And we'll just call him Brad for now, but I will reveal who he is after we watch everything, and then we'll get a really good sense of who he is. And we have so many stories of these Brads and Karens, and every so often, I don't know about you all, but sometimes we just get tired of them, right? We're just like, oh, you're just like a fly in our face, and we're not gonna give it any life. But sometimes you just come across one that's a little bit different, that you kind of didn't expect. Not that you're shocked, but you didn't expect. And that was how I felt about this particular story. But without further ado, let us just watch the altercation, and then I'll provide some more information.
I'm calling him right now. He spit on me and I beat his ass.
I don't think you are.
You want to call him? I got all y'all on camera. You want to call him? You want to tell him what happened? My name is David McDonald.
I'm just going to pause for a second because I just want to blow this up so that you can see right here. He has spit on his face, and I will address why I am blowing that up. So let us continue.
I'm an Amazon delivery driver. I'm here on West Hill and North Madison Street. I'm delivering. No, I'm talking. What? I'm recording for my safety.
You're not calling the police?
Because I'm recording and documenting. Why y'all not calling the police? I have a phone on you. Right. Sir, can you call the police? No? Okay, that's what I thought. Anybody want to call the police? Nobody. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name?
He doesn't have a job.
What's your name? How do you know? You his neighbor?
I don't know, but he doesn't have
But how do you know? How do you know?
You are a professional.
He spit on me. I don't give a fuck about this job. He
You're
spit on me.
lose it then.
I have so many other boys to make money. I don't give a fuck about this job.
I guess
I
you
care
don't.
about my self-respect
I guess you
and my
don't.
dignity. I beat your ass because you spit on me, you ass nigga.
Why don't you get on your bike?
Yeah, and slide the fuck up out of here. Don't spit on me again. Watch what you do. You don't know who I am or what I got going on. Don't spit on me. No, fuck all that. That's the utmost disrespect. I would have called my sister to beat her ass. If it was a woman, I would have waited here until my sister got here to beat her ass. Yes, that's where I come from. Y'all don't know me. Whatever. I bet God wouldn't have tolerated it. And I beat your ass. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Have a great day. I bet he need to have more self-respect and some more self-control. Keep condoning that racist ass bullshit. Whatever.
Okay, so our brother David McDonald, I had a brief exchange with him, and he provided me with full details of what happened. So I'm going to go ahead and read everything that he said, because obviously we're seeing the aftermath, right? But before I read it, I just wanted to address a comment in here where somebody said, why didn't this brother call the police and instead of act like a civilized person? First of all, let me just say, if you read the caption, you will see that this brother was the one that was assaulted by spit and called outside his name, okay, called an anti-Black slur. So who's the one that's not acting civilized? Okay, but anyhow, I just wanted to address that. But let me just read what David had to say. So he says, let me catch you up on what wasn't recorded because this is such a small snippet of the entire situation. So I'm minding my business, making my deliveries, and at an intersection, the man you see all bloodied in the video was riding his bike traveling eastbound. I was trying to cross that street traveling northbound. At the 1 minute and 6 minute mark, or sorry, 6 second mark, you can see that there were trees to my left obstructing my view. So naturally, I forwarded to see if I could see any cars or pedestrians coming. That way, not enough to make anybody swerve, just enough to see past the trees. And he was nowhere near my vehicle when I entered forward, and he squirt like I was gonna hit him. Oh, he squirted, he was saying, like I was gonna hit him, but my truck was completely stopped. He was calling me an idiot and the N word, and I told his old behind, I hope he slips and falls off that bike as I'm crossing the intersection. Ironically, my next stop is adjacent from the previous house I was at, and I can see him make a U turn in the middle of the street. As I'm getting out of my vehicle to make my next delivery, he approached my van, yelling, screaming, threatening, like he already wanted a problem. I told him to get out of my face, to go on about his day, because this is not the problem that you want. I continue with my delivery, but within the 15 seconds it takes me to do so, he's still at my van, keeping me from getting into it. I tell him again, move out of my way so I can get back to work because I don't have time for any of this. As I get in my truck, he grabs my arm and spits in my face. And then he puts in brackets, I was scared. I don't know who this man is or what he's capable of, so I did what I thought was best. I hopped out of that car so fast, my truck was rolling down the street. I didn't have an opportunity to put it in park because I was so focused on whooping his behind. I'll just say behind and keeping myself safe. As old as he is, buddy, he was solid. I got off. Excuse me. Hang on a second. Yeah, he really sent all of this. Okay, I got up off of him because I saw my van rolling down the street, and I didn't want anybody on the street to have any damage to the vehicle. After I stopped my van, I'll go back up the block to see where he is because I really was about to call the police, but I had to call my boss to let her know what was going on and how things were unfolding. And then he said, my girl was on the phone, heard everything. The customers that I delivered to were all on their porches witnessing this spectacular event. Mind you, I'm doing all of this with spit still on my face. And that's what I showed you all in the beginning. The older couple you see in the video were just walking by and weren't a part of the original confrontation, nor did they see a thing that happened, yet kept coming to his defense. Mind you, all of the people in the neighborhood know me very well from putting out my favorite snacks and getting to know their dogs. So he wasn't getting any support from them. They all offered their camera footage to piece together the situation that happened. Grateful for everybody on that block. But at the end of the day, I had to protect myself. I'm not my ancestors. I definitely called the police. I definitely pressed charges, and I'm definitely getting paid. Racism is alive and well. You see it every day. I'm only sharing this to spread awareness. If they disrespect you, beat the behind. It's the only thing that they can hear. Don't take S from anybody, especially a racist. I don't know what Buddy expected, but I hope he learned his lesson because he's about to keep learning. See you in court, Buddy. Violence was the answer to this question. So that's what David had to say about this situation. Now, let me reveal who this person is because you see in the caption it says pastor, right? Yeah, he's a pastor. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here is the Brad of today. This is him here. This is the good pastor, and his name is Ken Ralston. Okay, here he is here, and this is why our brother was saying that he's solid. You could see that he is a muscular guy. Here's another picture of him. Sorry, let me just add it to the stage. Sorry, here's another picture of him. And it looks like he does a lot of, goodwill. Pastor Ken. There he is right here. And let's do some more here. Let's do a little information about our good Pastor Ken. So here we are here. Meet our pastor here at Park Lane Community Church, Pastor Ken Ralston. Ken is an adventurous, Jesus seeking, people loving man who adores Monroe. And that, by the way, this is Monroe, Washington, and its surrounding communities. He is a pastor with the heart of an evangelist, with his number one desire always being to see people connect with Christ and pursue the life that God has designed for them. Ken's teaching style is often described as simple and practical as he relates to so many people on a personal level. I see that. Ken has lived in the Snohomish County since 1990 and for the last 6 years in Monroe, where he currently resides. Two of Ken's greatest passions, I think they meant to say in life, in competitive bodybuilding and avid road cycling. So yeah, he was on his bike that day. So if you're looking for a good man to talk about Jesus in the Bible, come find him at Monroe's local gym, Thrive Fitness, or on his bike around Monroe roads. And most of all, come meet him here at Park Place Community Church on Sunday. So yeah, that's our good pastor. And there goes the church. Here's the church. Park Place Community Church. You belong here. Okay. So that's our good pastor, Ken Ralston. And the church is at 307 North Madison Street in Monroe, Washington. Here's what I have to say. Black people, if there are any Black people that go to that church, run. Take up your Bibles, take up everything, and leave that church. Your pastor is an anti-Black racist. Park Lane Community Church. Do you know that your pastor is a racist? Pastor Ken Ralston, I think you need to repent. You need to repent and go down in water. You need to ask God to help you with your anti-Black racism, because you cannot be a man of the cloth up on that pulpit preaching the good word of God and you don't like Black people and you're out here spitting on Black people and calling them anti-Black slurs, because spitting is assault. And I guess he thought that because he's a bodybuilder and he's all diesel that, he was going to assault this brother and keep him from working and all of that other stuff. And this is the other thing that a lot of people think. I don't know why. I'm not going to say people, the folks, a lot of them think that, brothers are weak. And because you got a little muscle on you that you can, bully and strong arm brothers out here. And the brothers are more and more and more reminding you that you cannot do that. And, listen, I always say it, not everybody's going to have the turn the cheek mentality. You can't expect to be doing that kind of thing to people and they're just going to go high and allow you to go low. It just doesn't work with everybody. It doesn't. Yes, Light says KKK with a Bible in his hands. That's all he is. Yep, there you go. Letitia Home. That's it. Pastor Ken Ralston. And then you see the older couple. Yeah, I agree with you. I had 3 subscribers. You see the older couple defending him. And as Brother David said, they weren't even around when everything happened. But they were like, you need to call the police. And they said, he doesn't have a job and they don't even know him. Talking about the guy doesn't have a job and you need to be professional. And of course, he's standing there with spit on his face. And who's the one that needs to be professional? But you know how they will sometimes rock for their people, right? So you had a situation like that. I had 3 subscribers. Yeah. And I wonder, Isaac, you're saying it took place near a white church. I'm just wondering if there are any black people that go to that church. That's why I'm saying if there are any black people that go to that church, you need to leave that church. Your pastor is a racist. Oh, my goodness. Yep, that's what I'm saying. He needs to pray and beg for forgiveness because what he did here, all he did was show his colors and over an incident that doesn't even sound like, according to David, like it happened. It wasn't not like he hit him or almost hit him. He said he didn't see him. He came out of nowhere. So what's the civilized thing to do, as that commenter said, is, oh, I'm sorry. Watch where you're going. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. And then you just keep it moving. He didn't hit him. He wasn't harmed in any way. He wasn't even close to hitting him. So there was no reason for all of that reaction other than you are an anti-black racist and you seize an opportunity to show your anti-black racism. And you know what? The pastor left the building. All holiness left the building. And the true person came out with the true colors, which is anti-black racist. Okay? Oh my gosh. Oh, well, yeah, you're right, Tavoris. That could be part of it. But at the end of the day, um, sometimes we can be going to a church as black people and not know what our pastor really feels. And if you see this man, you wouldn't even think that's a pastor. Not that pastors outside of church look a certain way, but oftentimes they do. He's an athletic person, so he's out on these streets riding his bike. I would have never guessed that he was a pastor, but David did what I'm always asking our brothers and sisters to do when you're reporting an incident that happens to you, which is get all the information. David did a really good job. He got all the information. He got the information on this pastor and the church and everything. Kudos to you, brother David. You did your homework. I'm so glad that he called the police as well, because we know how it can end sometimes when you've got like the elderly Karen and Brad that were there talking and talking, and they could have gone to the police and said some lie about our brother David. So it's really good that he called the police, even though the racist pastor is all bloodied and stuff. If he didn't call the police, he could have been the one arrested, right? So I'm really happy that he called the police. I'm really happy that he's pressing charges. I'm really happy that he says that, you know what, see you in court. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And to that church, I think you need to look at replacing your pastor. He needs to sit down for a little while, okay, until he gets himself together. At the end of the day, I don't know how, you get racism out of racists, but who knows? With divine intervention, maybe he'll be reformed. Either way, I say it again to our people, get out of that church. You have a racist pastor on your hands, Monroe, Washington. This man has no business on the pulpit. We need to take the Bible from him. We need to take everything from him, and we need him to go sit down somewhere and listen to the good word and pray for forgiveness. This was so out of line and out of order. And I did ask David if he wanted to join the live stream and talk to us some more, but I believe he's working. It is coming up to Christmas, and he's an Amazon delivery driver. So I'm sure he's on the road doing what he does best. And I'm glad that he also contacted his employer to let her know what was going on as well, so that he doesn't end up losing his job, right? Yeah, he did, Cookie. He put hands on him good. And, he let the vehicle roll down the hill. That's how angry he was. He forgot to put that vehicle in park. Okay, he had to go run and get back in that vehicle. But yeah, I'm sure he was enraged because, like I said, somebody spits on you. It is assault. We know it's assault, but there's something to me I always say that when somebody spits on you, there's so much hate behind that, right? Like you are taking in all of your bodily fluids from your throat and everything, and you're spitting on somebody. To me, that's just as bad as putting hands, fists, feet, whatever on somebody. Spitting to me has so much hate behind it. And then on top of that, as you heard that I'm reading, David was saying he repeatedly told him, leave me alone. You don't want this. Let me get back to work. He's blocking him from getting back to work. He's, yelling, screaming, calling him the N word. He twice told him, stop it now. So he assaulted him first because, again, spitting is assault. It is. Exactly, Tavoris. Exactly. Just think about it, family. If there are any Black people, you could be sitting in that church. You could be giving these people your tithes and your offering, and you could be, members of that church for years and years and years, and shaking his hand at the end of service. He's laying hands on you and praying for you. He's doing you. I mean, if you go to him for counsel, maybe he even married you. Maybe he christened your baby. All of these things. I'm just saying, Black people, you could be going through these things with this pastor, not knowing how he really feels about you. Because even though this is a stranger that he did it to, he's a Black person first. So it's not like this pastor can be like, oh, I'm not racist towards my members. I'm only racist towards this Black person. Oh, no, you're a racist, period. So you just temper it, when you're in the house of the Lord or on the pulpit. But just think of it. If there are any Black people, like I said, that go to that church, just think about that. I think it's time to find another church. I really do. Yeah, this is not a safe place for Black people. It's not. It's not. Yeah, Tavoris says take one. Yeah. I mean, I always say that I'm not an advocate for violence per se. I'm not. But in the moment when somebody does something like that to you, sometimes you're just not going to be able to just ignore it. You're just not. And not everybody's saved and sanctified, including this pastor. If he's out here doing this kind of stuff, right? Anyway, family, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I really just wanted to share this one because I felt like it was a little bit of a twist with it being a pastor and a pastor that didn't really look like he could be a pastor. And, you just weren't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that until I did the research and found out the full story, and God bless David. I hope that he gets his justice because, we're sick and tired of this. And here's a hardworking, law-abiding citizen that's just trying to get about his day and do his work and deliver his Amazon packages. And people in this kind of job, like service, like couriers and delivery people, have to deal with so much. There's more than one story of this kind of thing going on with FedEx and UPS drivers and stuff. And when they're in certain areas, they go through this anti-Black racism. They're attacked. They're told things. People are blocking them, saying you're private property. You can't come this way. You can't come here. All of these Karens and Kens are gatekeeping. And you know what? It's enough. So sometimes, you know what? We're just like, look, I'm going to match your energy. You can put your hands on me. I'm putting hands on you. You spit on me. I'm going to, put a beat down on you. It's enough now. We are tired. We are tired of it. Leave us alone. Let us go about our business, do our work, and we'll get out of your way. But at the end of the day, you cannot expect every Black person to just rise above when you do these kinds of things to us. And again, I'm telling you right now, I would have had the same reaction if you spat on me too. Spitting on me? No. And that brother, as you could see, he still had the spit on his face. He was so focused on dealing with him. Okay? Like, that is enough. You got to stop that. You have to leave us be. We do not trouble y'all. We don't. This brother is going about his business, doing his job. He's not troubling anybody. And as you heard, the neighborhood knows him, and the people that, he probably does the same route, so the people in the neighborhood know him. And as he said, they leave treats out for him and stuff, and they were all taking video. They're defending him. And there's another example of people that look like racist pastor that were not defending him. It was only that elderly couple that happened to walk by. But the actual people in the neighborhood, they weren't defending him. They weren't. They were defending this brother. And we're seeing a lot of that more and more too. I know I'm seeing it for sure in my research and stuff. And you know what I think it is? That's because they're also tired. They're tired of their people and their behavior, one. And two, they don't want any of that smoke. They don't. They're like, you know what? I'm good. I don't want to get bloodied and beaten down. And I have a feeling that pastor probably has a broken nose, but that's just my feeling, just looking at the injuries. I had to blur it out a little bit for obvious reasons, but you can deduce that he was pretty banged up, and you could tell he couldn't even speak. He was just like, you know, and that's just how Black people will get down sometimes. Us alone, leave us be. And that's the message for today. But again, before I love y'all and leave y'all, I just want to say again, please, please, if you haven't already, download the African Diaspora News Channel app from your Google or Apple store. Make that your Christmas gift to yourself or loved ones or friends if you haven't already done so. If you have, I thank you to all that have downloaded the African Diaspora News Channel app. Also, I have a YouTube channel as well. It's called Truth and Black Excellence with Emma Ansa. So you can find me there. I'll be doing live streams. I'm going to start doing more live streams in the new year, and some pre-records. And so yeah, follow me there as well, and check me out here. I'll be doing live streams the rest of this week, same time, same channel, and equally as important topics. So yeah, check us out. And also, don't only just check me out, check out all the rest of the journalists on this channel that are doing wonderful things. Make sure to follow them, watch their content, support this channel. We are all out here advocating for our people. We are putting together great content and stories and education and all those things, by us, for us. And then again, we have the app as well that has exclusive content. So, invest in all of that. Invest in us. Invest in yourself. It's important. And, we need to be unified to deal with everything that we deal with as Black people on a regular basis, day in and day out. So, yeah, just follow us all, and support us all. We're out here doing the work. We're in these streets, family. So appreciate you very much. Yes, Tavoris, no more playing with us. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. No more. Enough is enough. So thank you so much for tuning in. And as I said, if you are enjoying the holiday season and you are a celebrator of the holidays, I hope you have a happy and safe one. And also, if you're into New Year's celebrations and turning up, please be safe. These streets are alive with a lot of nonsense, so be safe, and just have a good time, but just be safe. And I shall see you again tomorrow. Until then, please be safe. Again, see you tomorrow.